Malcolm and Marie is written and directed by Sam Livingston. It stars John David Washington as Malcolm and Zendaya as Marie. The film is about a toxic relationship between two people. Malcolm is a professional filmmaker who has an emotionally abusive and aggressive attitude. Marie, who used to be an emotional wreck, claims that Malcolm's inspiration for his latest film came from details about her life. The two characters pretty much do nothing but argue throughout the film. What got me emotionally invested in this movie was the performances delivered by John David Washington and Zendaya. The experience I had with this movie was an intense one. It was a raw, emotional roller coaster ride. We are like a fly on the wall, witnessing this entire moment take place between these two characters. There was so much rich backstory here that I think they should take all of that and turn it into a movie that shows us their relationship in chronological order. Some of the interactions between the characters made me question whose side I should be on. Malcolm would question Marie about something, Marie would then make a statement explaining her point, but then Malcolm would claim that she is lying, and Marie would defend herself by saying she is not lying. Not knowing who these characters are made me think, is Marie indeed lying to Malcolm, or is Malcolm making assumptions about Marie? There were other sequences where Malcolm would go off on a rant about critics and him being black as a filmmaker. These moments showcased Malcolm's personality and his aggressive nature. Was this movie trying to make a statement regarding the entertainment industry and being black within it? I think it was, but that's not my overall takeaway from the project. What I took away was, there's a reason why some people are in relationships. Some people don't want to be alone. Some people are in it for financial gain. Some people wish for emotional support. But I think what Malcolm wanted was a few things. He wanted inspiration for his latest project, and he wanted someone around to listen to him rant on and on about his problems. I honestly don't know why Marie stays with Malcolm. Is it because they have a past and Malcolm was there for her through thick and thin? I think the film showcases that confusing nature between some couples. If all you do is argue all the time, then why are you two still together? Is it because the other person makes you see a side of yourself that you don't see? Is it because they're not afraid to be honest with you and let you truly know what kind of person you are? I think the critical factor is, do they make you a better person? What is your give and takeaway in the relationship? I think the moral of the story is that love is a confusing game. Or, in the words of the late Amy Winehouse, love is a losing game. This movie is in black and white. I don't know why, but I can explain what I think about it. I think the black and white presentation and the music give this film an old school kind of flair. If this film was in color, would I feel any differently towards it? Probably not. I love some of the shots the director captures during certain scenes, along with the intense performances provided by John David Washington and Zendaya. Overall, I think that this is a great movie. I loved the intense and raw emotional roller coaster ride of performances delivered by John David Washington and Zendaya. I enjoyed the black and white visual presentation of the film. I think this was an overall exciting journey that left me wanting to know more about these characters, mostly because of the actors' performances. If the film had terrible actors portraying these characters, then this would have quickly fallen apart. So, if you don't mind watching a movie that's in black and white, if you don't mind watching anything but two characters arguing in a house for an hour and a half, then I suggest that you give this movie a shot. If none of that stuff sounds interesting to you, then this film might bore you to death. This movie is about two people arguing about the past, the present, and how they feel emotionally. There were scenes in here that I thought reflected relationships that I have had in the past. So I guess that made me have an even more emotional connection to the story. All of the aspects presented here worked for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the film from the beginning to the very end. And that's all I have to say.